Hey guys, what is happening and welcome to this video. So in today's video, we're talking about the City of Calgary is paying content creators to mislead you. So without further ado, let's do this. Alright guys, welcome back. So I want to talk about the City of Calgary paying loads of content creators to make bubblegum and lollipop type content for Calgary. And you know, it kind of, I don't know, sickens me a little bit because YouTube was never like the way it is right now, where, you know, corporate interests or even government interests can come in and pay content creators to paint a picture of Calgary or wherever it may be in the world, San Francisco, whatever, and they can paint it to be this rosy place when it's obviously not. Now, a lot of these content creators say in the video that the City of Calgary didn't necessarily tell them to do or say anything, which I can totally understand. But do you not think that they're going to be a little bit biased, since they literally basically admit that the city is paying them to do the content? The thing is, guys, I'm never ever gonna get approached by the City of Calgary, and I would never ever engage with them and create bubblegum and lollipop content about the city when it is clearly just a dump. The thing is, guys, it's kind of been a while that I guess, you know, I've thought this way, but I just can't hold back anymore. You know, a lot of these cities in Canada are called the best places in the world, and when you really look at it, no, they're not. And when you really look at all these websites and companies that do these rankings, they're often, you know, based on what, when you really look into it? Part of the livability factor of any city is the affordability of that city. And Canada's cities, no matter which one you pick, are some of the most expensive on the planet. The thing is, it doesn't matter if you're in Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, you know, it's expensive nevertheless. I think people now think that there's some sort of golden pill, there's some sort of golden nugget somewhere. You know, you got a lot of people from Ontario right now that are moving to places like Halifax and Nova Scotia. And really, these are trends that have been moving for a long time now. It's just the cerveza sickness has kind of, it's took these trends and just made them go so much quicker. So they've just amplified the amount of people that are moving. You know, I think it's kind of just shows how many problems there are in cities like Calgary. You know, Calgary also suffering from lots of people leaving. And you have to ask yourself, and people never seem to think of this, you know, if you're considering moving here for houses are more affordable than places like Vancouver and Toronto, for instance, you got to ask yourself, why are people moving away then? Like, if houses are more affordable here, why are so many people moving away? Fact is, guys, the city's dead. The city's totally dead. The economy is just completely blown out. You know, once all this stimulus and pandemic related money ends, you're going to really see like the tide going out, and you're going to see that there's not much left. You know, Calgary hit one of the highest unemployment rates in Canada when we were at the peak of people being laid off. But I think what people tend to miss with that is the fact that actually that was kind of like telling us the future almost. It was telling us the strength of the businesses here in Calgary. Because think about it. If you're a multi-million-dollar business and you've got a lot of cash flow and everything like that, you aren't going to like do a knee-jerk response like all these employers had in Calgary and laid off. I think the unemployment rate got nearly 20-25% at some point. But I think that kind of paints the picture, like this picture of what it's going to be like in the future and how weak the economy really is here as a whole. Now, obviously, then we didn't really know what was happening with the cerveza sickness. We didn't know how severe it was going to be. So there was a lot of fears in that sense. But you really have to sort of think of, hey, you know, are these places really built to be what they're meant to actually be, or what people are saying they actually are? Because I don't think so, guys. You know, the thing is, I've lived in Toronto, I've lived in Calgary, I've visited Vancouver many times. All these three cities, in my opinion, are totally overrated. You know, London is a beautiful city in England, and I think it's a amazing place. I've lived and worked there, and I think it's a fantastic place. And I really, you know, the affordability side of things is really a big issue there as well, same as what we see here. But there's a big difference in my opinion. You know, London is the center of the world for banking. It's not in so much of a bubble. You know, a lot of people look to justify the bubbles that are happening here in Canada by saying, oh, look, it's not as bad as London in England. Or, oh, look, Calgary isn't as bad as Toronto. They're like comparing just totally different economies. It doesn't make any sense, but people are just looking to justify their stupid financial decisions. The thing is, guys, if I'm brutally honest with you, and I feel like I have to be on this channel, I'm always trying to be, and this isn't, you know, doom and gloom at the end of the day. This is just a warning because I know people are going to see this. It's the contrarian view. It's not what people are saying. Most people are going to say, move here, it's going to be fantastic for you. Blah, 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 blah. I'm doing good, so you're going to do good, and that's just not the case. So I'm going to just outrightly say that I think Canada is going to be one of the weakest economies over the next couple of decades. I think Canada is going to suffer really, really bad. I think, you know, obviously it's got a gigantic housing bubble, which eventually is going to pop. When that pops, guys, it's such a huge part of the economy. The entire economy is going to be collapsing. You know, I have a feeling that because Canada sold its gold reserves, really, the dollar is backed by just nothing anymore. That what faith is going to be left? Like if we entered a scenario, for instance, where oil prices were absolutely collapsing, which I don't think would happen. I think that's very low probability. But if oil prices were collapsing, or a micro crash, as in it happens really fast, and then you've also got the housing market, which is imploding, and the banking system, I think those cross currents could collapse the entire currency here in Canada. I honestly believe it. And I think that they would be forced to take a rescue from the US. I honestly believe that because I think Canada is the next Greece. I'm just going to tell you how it is. You know what? The people here are fantastic, guys. You're going to meet some of the most amazing people that you'll ever meet, especially in places like Nova Scotia, man. The people there, just unbelievable. You can say the people are fantastic and everything like that all day long until the chickens come to roost. But the fact is, guys, it really doesn't change the fundamentals of the economy. And at the end of the day, guys, I'm an economic migrant. You know, we came to Canada for a better life. Do we have a better life than England? Absolutely. Yeah, I'm definitely going to say that we have a better life than we had where we lived in England. But again, it depends where you live in England to what kind of lifestyle you're going to have, because it's all so different, and people kind of think England is London. That's not the case at all. But you know what, guys? It's just kind of funny because I think now it's great that we're 27 and we are deciding this, and we already have our ducks in a row in our head. Like we've figured this out. And you know, I've always said, and I don't think I've said it on camera though, that I could never live in Canada for like long term, the rest of my life. I kind of see it as just a stepping stone. And that mainly comes from the weather. I just absolutely hate the weather here. Doesn't matter where you are. Some people will say, well, you know what, you can be in the Okanagan, it's really mild here, but it's also grey. You can go to Vancouver, yes, it's more mild, but it's exactly like England, just grey and rainy, sorry. You can be here in Calgary, it'll be sunny, but it'll be absolutely freezing and frigid most of the time. You'll have snow on the ground 7-8 months of the year. You know, you can have snow in May. You're going to have snow in September. I just can't deal with that crap, guys. I just really can't. So at the end of the day, we've always said that Canada is never going to be a long-term thing for us. It's just really a stepping stone. But at the end of the day, guys, you've just got to figure out what is right for you, you know. A lot of people ask me questions, a lot of people leave comments and say what they're thinking, and you know what? Like, I'm just putting this out there, guys, because I believe we haven't got enough contrarian views. You know, yeah, Canada might be better than your circumstances somewhere else, but at the end of the day, there are countries out there that I just believe offer more freedom, more opportunities, and just less red tape than Canada. So why would we stay here? And that's really what it boils down to, guys. So anyway, guys, I thank you so much for watching. This doesn't mean that we're going to be gone, you know, in a couple of months. It really doesn't work like that. You know, when I started saying I was going to Canada, just to put this into perspective for you, it was about 3 or 4 years in the making before we moved. And now I feel like we're kind of edging into 1 or 2 years in that. Could it be another 2 years, 1 year? I don't really know when we're going to be moving. Yes, we will be. You know, it could be 2 years, could be 5 years, could be 6 months. I just don't know, guys. But I'm just telling you my long-term view and why I believe Canada is going, and just why we're looking for the door. And I think a lot of other immigrants are looking for the door too, and honestly, I don't blame them. Again, I think really it's down to the government. The blood is on their hands, so to speak, because they have absolutely ruined the economy. And really, Canada is starting to really draw more and more comparisons now than ever with China, and I think that's a bad slippery slope that they don't want to go down. But you know what, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. You know, just thank you for being on this journey, because it's going to continue and I'm going to take you guys along with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love, guys.